From RNAS Cold Rose to France and on to Italy. These are the Hawks of 736 Naval Air Squadron.
Hellcat, 3 aircraft, on the break. Hellcat 1, land. Hellcat 2, break, land.
Currently the only fast jet fixed-wing squadron in the Fleet Air Arm.
Hellcat 2, TIRANA, you're clear, land.
Our primary role is to act as an aggressor for the rest of the MOD, as well as members of NATO and multinational countries who need an aggressor squadron to train against.
Land, Hellcat 2.
The planned arrival in Albania saw local dignitaries and military VIPs hold a ceremony on the runway to welcome them.
I'm proud to be working with the Albanian forces.
Taking off from Brindisi in Italy slightly behind schedule, their next stop Tirana International Airport, landing just before nightfall.
I mean, on the way over to Albania, it was pretty chilled out because we were up at high level with not much to do, apart from worry about the navigation. Whereas normally if we fly against, say, another aircraft type, you're worried about things like airspace, altitudes, speeds, restrictions, in-cockpit emergencies that may occur, and what the other guy's doing. So you can go from a pretty benign sortie to something quite advanced and complex.
It was a long day, but it was good actually, really helpful, all the way across Europe, through France, through Italy, and then actually finally into Albania as well. Well, really helpful. It's good.
They're here for exercise Albanian Lion, but first they've got the chance to dogfight with an Italian Air Force Typhoon.
Limitations mean that we couldn't film the dogfight, but from what the pilots say, it was a pretty good morning.
It was fantastic. They were really good to work with. Coordination was brilliant and the flying was fantastic, and it's really good to fly against a different fighter. We did really well against a superior fighter. There was 2 of us today and we held our own pretty well, so pretty pleased with that. Dissimilar air combat doesn't happen very often, certainly for us in the UK. So for that to happen today, it took a lot of work and a lot of coordination, but it's a great achievement for both countries, the UK and the Italians, to achieve that in the Albanian airspace, which is a credit to all those three countries.
736 Naval Air Squadron ordinarily fly out of RNAS Cold Rose in Cornwall, but here in Albania they're having to work alongside civilian aircraft at the international airport. They're here for almost 2 weeks, supporting exercise Albanian Lion.
So the main purpose of Albanian Lion, it's a combined 3 commando and COM-ATG exercise, and as the Hawk aggressor, we're aiming to support both the red and the blue. So we're batting both sides of the team there. We plan to support the commandos when they infill into the south of Albania, and we plan to attack the COM-ATG and the fleet when they try to come up from the south of Italy.
The T1 Hawk is more than 40 years old. It's the same aircraft flown by the Red Arrows. But how is it still in service?
The Hawk is an absolute dream. Yeah, it's a beautiful jet, very simple, very straightforward. It looks complicated probably from the shot that you can see here, but it's actually really simple, nice and mechanical and very reliable. So we can always get airborne and get our training done and provide training for other people that need it before they go operational.
3 pilots have flown to Albania. Waiting for them on the ground are their civilian engineers who know the jets inside out.
It's a good maintenance aircraft. The pound per hour is very good. It has its issues like any aircraft, but they're relatively few and far between. The serviceability rate's very good. They're a pleasure to work on actually, I do enjoy it.
Ordinarily, they act as fighter jets or missiles for Royal Navy warship crews and Royal Marines. But to warm up, they've been dogfighting with the Italian Air Force, and today is their second of what they call dissimilar air combat.
So today when we flew against the Typhoon, the little piece of airspace that we're in was from the surface, so up to 30,000 feet. So we had that whole piece to ourselves, and we met at 15,000 feet, and we operate to a hard deck of 5,000 feet. So the aim is not to go below 5,000 for safety, and we started our flights at around 10 or 15,000, and then we went from there.
An hour later and the hawks come back into sight.
So how was that?
That was awesome. 2v1 versus Italian typhoon. Danger edge just to the southwest here of Tirana. So yeah, absolutely awesome.